Imagine this. You've lost everything. Your dreams feel shattered, the bank account's running low, relationships are strained, and you can't see a way out. But what if I told you this isn't the end of your story? What if this moment, yes, this exact moment of struggle, is actually the beginning of the most powerful transformation of your life? This isn't just another motivational video where I tell you to believe in yourself or never give up. No, this is your practical, step-by-step blueprint for rising stronger than ever. By the end of this video, you'll have 15 actionable steps to engineer your comeback, complete with real examples, specific strategies, and proven techniques that have worked for thousands of others. Let's make this happen. We've all been there. Those moments when life feels like it's dealing nothing but heavy blows. Maybe you've lost your job, your business went under, a relationship ended, or health issues knocked you down. Perhaps you're there right now, watching this video from what feels like rock bottom. But here's something powerful to consider. History's most inspiring success stories often began at rock bottom. Take Oprah Winfrey. Not just fired from her first TV job, but humiliated and told she was unfit for television. She was demoted from her anchor position because she got too emotionally invested in her stories. That emotional investment, it became her superpower, leading to a media empire worth billions. Or consider J.K. Rowling's story more deeply. She wasn't just rejected by publishers, she was a single mother on welfare, dealing with clinical depression, heating her apartment one room at a time because she couldn't afford to heat the whole place. The first Harry Potter book was written in cafes while her baby slept beside her. Those 12 rejections, they fueled her determination. Steve Jobs, publicly humiliated when he was forced out of Apple, the company he co-founded. But during his wilderness years, he founded Pixar and Next, developed the technologies that would later save Apple, and returned to make Apple the most valuable company in the world. But here's what's fascinating. These aren't just stories of people who bounced back. They're examples of individuals who used their setbacks as springboards to reach heights they never imagined possible. They didn't just recover, they reinvented themselves entirely. And today, I'm sharing a comprehensive 15-step strategy to help you do the same. Grab your notebook because we're about to turn your setback into the setup for an extraordinary comeback. And trust me, you'll want to take notes on this one. The foundation steps 1 to 5. The first step in any comeback is embracing radical acceptance. This isn't about resignation or giving up. It's about honest acknowledgement of where you are right now. Pull out your notebook because we're going to do this together. Start by creating 3 separate pages dedicated to your current reality. The first page is for your professional situation. Write down your current income, the exact amount of debt or savings you have, your job status or business situation. Be specific about your skills, what you're genuinely good at, not what you wish you were good at. Document the state of your professional relationships and any current opportunities or challenges you see. On the second page, detail your personal life and relationships. Rate the quality of your key relationships on a scale from 1 to 10. Describe your living situation, your health status, your daily routine. Map out your support system. Who's really there for you right now? List your personal commitments and obligations, even the ones you wish you could ignore. The third page is for your mental and emotional state. Be brutally honest about your current stress level, your most frequent emotions, your energy levels throughout the day. How's your sleep quality? What mental blocks or limiting beliefs are you carrying? What still motivates or inspires you, even in this difficult time? Remember, you can't navigate to a new destination without knowing your starting point. Take Mark's story, for example. After losing his tech startup, he wrote, "Professional $127,000 in debt, failed startup, damaged professional reputation, personal divorced, strained relationship with kids, 30 pounds overweight, mental depressed, angry at myself, sleeping 4 to 5 hours per night." This clarity, though painful, became the foundation of his comeback. Now comes the crucial pivot, transforming your perspective. This isn't about positive thinking, it's about strategic thinking. Create a 3-column document that will become your daily mindset training ground. The first column is your current situation, the raw facts of what you're dealing with. The second column is your instinctive negative thought about that situation. The third column is your strategic reframe, a powerful, truthful way to view the situation that opens up possibilities rather than shutting them down. When Lisa lost her job of 20 years, her first column read, "Unemployed at 45." Her second column captured her fear, "I'm too old to start over." But her strategic reframe became, "I have 20 years of experience and knowledge that younger professionals don't have." This wasn't just positive thinking, it was a strategic advantage she could actually use in her job search. Develop a daily mindset practice that goes beyond simple affirmations. Each morning, write down your biggest current challenge. Then list 3 potential opportunities within that challenge. Create an empowering statement about it that acknowledges both the difficulty and the possibility. When Michael's business failed, his daily statement became, "This failure taught me invaluable lessons about business that I'll use to build something even stronger." Learn to manage your emotional triggers with precision. Identify the specific situations that send you into a negative spiral. Create precise reframe statements for each trigger and practice them before entering triggering situations. Sarah, who lost her savings in a bad investment, would rehearse her reframe before every financial meeting. "My past financial decisions inform my wisdom, not my worth." Vision without structure is just daydreaming. That's why we're going to use the 3 horizons technique to build your comeback vision with surgical precision. First, let's talk about Horizon 1, your 90-day vision. This isn't about dreaming big yet, it's about establishing stability and momentum. Take out your notebook and write down where you need to be in 90 days to feel like you're back on solid ground. Be specific about the numbers, the feelings, and the daily experiences you want to have. When James came to me after losing his restaurant during the pandemic, his 90-day vision wasn't about opening another restaurant. Instead, he focused on clearing $10,000 of debt, establishing a consistent consulting income of $3,000 per month, and rebuilding his industry relationships through weekly coffee meetings. Notice how specific and measurable these goals are. That's crucial for your 90-day vision. Moving to Horizon 2, your 1-year vision, this is where we start to dream bigger while maintaining practicality. 1 year gives you enough time to make significant changes while staying connected to current reality. Your 1-year vision should feel like a stretch but not impossible. Write down what your daily life looks like 1 year from now. Where do you live? What work are you doing? Who are you spending time with? What new skills have you developed? Maria, a former corporate executive who was laid off, used her 1-year vision to completely pivot her career. She saw herself running a thriving online business, helping other executives transition to entrepreneurship. She envisioned working from her home office, connecting with clients globally, and having the flexibility to pick up her kids from school, something she couldn't do in her corporate role. The setback became an opportunity to design the life she actually wanted. Horizon 3, your 3-year vision, is where you have permission to think big. This is your dream scenario, but with a foundation built on the progress from Horizons 1 and 2. Think about the impact you want to have, not just on your own life but on others. David, who lost everything in a divorce, used his 3-year vision to imagine building a support network for men going through similar challenges, turning his pain into purpose. The biggest mistake people make in comebacks is trying to take massive action right away. They try to go from 0 to 60 overnight, burn out, and give up. Instead, we're going to build what I call micro-momentum. Think of it like pushing a heavy boulder. It's nearly impossible to get it moving with one big push, but a series of small, consistent pushes will eventually create unstoppable momentum. Start with what I call a victory ritual. One small action you'll take every morning that represents your comeback. For Michael, a former athlete recovering from a career-ending injury, this meant making his bed with military precision every morning. Seems small, right? But this simple act became a daily reminder that he was still in control of something. From there, he added a 5-minute stretching routine, then a 10-minute meditation, then a short walk. Within months, these small actions compounded into a powerful morning routine that fueled his transition into becoming a highly successful personal trainer. Create what I call momentum markers, specific, tiny actions that you can do even on your worst days. When Rachel was rebuilding her life after bankruptcy, her momentum marker was sending one networking email every morning before checking social media. Just one email. Some days she sent more, but having that minimum requirement kept her moving forward even when motivation was low. Track your micro-momentum religiously. Keep a simple journal where you record each small victory. Over time, you'll see patterns emerge that show you when you're most likely to follow through and when you tend to skip your commitments. This data becomes invaluable in designing a comeback strategy that works with your natural rhythms instead of against them. The support matrix. No great comeback happens in isolation. The myth of the self-made success story is just that, a myth. What you need is a carefully curated support matrix, what I call the diamond formation. At the top of your diamond, identify mentors who have successfully navigated similar challenges. These aren't just successful people. They need to be individuals who understand your specific situation. Elena's story illustrates this perfectly. When she lost her tech startup, she didn't just seek out any successful entrepreneur. She specifically connected with founders who had failed first and then built successful companies. Their guidance was invaluable because it came from lived experience. They could point out pitfalls she hadn't even considered and share strategies that worked in the real world, not just in theory. The sides of your diamond are your peers, people on similar journeys who can provide real-time support and accountability. These relationships should be mutually beneficial, where you can both share struggles and victories openly. Thomas formed a weekly mastermind group with 3 other professionals who were all rebuilding their careers. They met every Monday morning to share progress, challenges, and opportunities. This consistent support structure became a crucial factor in all of their comebacks. At the base of your diamond are the people you can help. Yes, even in your comeback you have valuable experience to share. Sarah, while rebuilding her own business, started mentoring college students interested in entrepreneurship. This not only helped her maintain perspective but also reinforced her own learning and rebuilt her confidence. Remember, teaching others what you know solidifies your own understanding and creates positive momentum in your life. Create specific connection protocols for each level of your support matrix. Schedule regular check-ins with your mentors, weekly accountability calls with your peers, and dedicated time to help others. Make these interactions sacred. They're not just meetings, they're the foundation of your comeback support system. The strategy steps 6 to 10. Strategic elimination. Most people think comebacks are about what you start doing, but they're equally about what you stop doing. I call this the art of strategic elimination, and it's often the most challenging part of any comeback because it requires brutal honesty and difficult decisions. Consider Caroline's story. After her marketing agency collapsed, she spent months trying to salvage relationships with toxic clients who had contributed to her burnout. It wasn't until she conducted what I call a life audit that she realized these relationships were draining the energy she needed for her comeback. A life audit isn't a simple list-making exercise. It's a deep examination of everything consuming your time, energy, and resources. Spend an entire day tracking every activity, conversation, and habit. Write down how each makes you feel on an energy scale. Pay attention to the subtle drains, the social media scrolling that leaves you feeling inadequate, the catching up coffee meetings that turn into complaint sessions, the clients who always need just one more thing. These energy vampires are often disguised as obligations or opportunities. The hardest part of strategic elimination is letting go of things that aren't necessarily bad, just not good enough for where you're going. David, a former executive, struggled with this until he created what he called his "not now" list. Instead of saying no permanently, he would say not now to opportunities that didn't directly serve his comeback. This subtle shift made it easier to decline board positions, speaking engagements, and even social events that would have divided his focus. Failure reframing. Let's talk about failure, not just how to cope with it, but how to actively use it as fuel for your comeback. The FAIL framework, which stands for First Attempt in Learning, isn't just a clever acronym, it's a systematic approach to extracting wisdom from every setback. When Marcus lost his first business, he didn't just reflect on what went wrong, he created what he called a failure resume, documenting every mistake and lesson with the same pride most people reserve for their achievements. The key to failure reframing is understanding that each failure carries specific data, valuable information that others have to pay to learn. Take Jennifer, who lost $50,000 in a failed restaurant venture. Instead of hiding from this experience, she began documenting everything she learned about restaurant operations, staff management, and cash flow. These insights became the foundation for her successful restaurant consulting business, where clients now pay her to help them avoid the same mistakes. Implement daily reflection sessions, not just about what went wrong, but about the specific wisdom gained. What did this failure teach you about your industry, about human nature, about yourself? Create a growth journal where you transform each setback into a strategic advantage. Remember, your competition has to learn these lessons the hard way. You already have them in your arsenal. Habit stacking. Success isn't built on motivation. It's built on habits. But trying to overhaul your entire routine at once is a recipe for failure. Instead, we use a technique called habit stacking, where you build new habits by anchoring them to existing ones. Think of it like creating a domino effect in your daily routine where each small action triggers the next. Start with what I call a power hour, but build it gradually. Rachel, a former athlete recovering from injury, began with just 5 minutes of meditation after her morning coffee. Once that became automatic, she added 5 minutes of journaling, then 5 minutes of visualization. Within 3 months, she had built a solid morning routine that became the foundation of her comeback as a fitness entrepreneur. The key is to make each new habit ridiculously easy to start. Want to build a writing habit? Start with 1 sentence after brushing your teeth. Want to exercise more? Begin with 1 push-up after turning off your morning alarm. These tiny actions seem insignificant, but they create neural pathways that make success automatic rather than requiring willpower. Emotional intelligence training. Your comeback isn't just about external actions, it's about developing the emotional resilience to handle both success and setback. This requires systematic emotional intelligence training. Start with emotional awareness, the simple but powerful practice of naming your emotions with precision. Instead of saying "I feel bad," identify exactly what you're feeling. Disappointment, frustration, fear, or anticipation. Create what I call an emotional success journal. Each day, record your dominant emotions and the situations that triggered them. Look for patterns. When Thomas was rebuilding his career after a public failure, he noticed that his anxiety peaked every Sunday night. This awareness led him to create a Sunday evening ritual that transformed his anxiety into preparation for the week ahead. Develop response protocols for challenging emotional states. When Sarah felt overwhelmed by the task of rebuilding her business, she created a 3-step protocol. Breathe for 2 minutes, write down her immediate next action, and call her accountability partner. These protocols turn emotional challenges into triggers for productive action. Progress metrics. You can't manage what you don't measure, but traditional success metrics can be devastating during a comeback. Instead, create what I call comeback metrics. Measurements that focus on progress rather than position. These aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet, they're evidence of your forward momentum. James, rebuilding after bankruptcy, shifted from focusing on his bank balance to tracking his financial fitness activities, networking conversations, proposal submissions, and skill development hours. These leading indicators gave him confidence even before the money started flowing again. Create your own comeback dashboard with metrics that matter for your journey. The Mastery Steps 11 to 15. Identity evolution. Your comeback isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become. This is perhaps the most profound yet overlooked aspect of any great comeback story. When Lisa lost her executive position after 15 years in corporate leadership, her biggest challenge wasn't finding a new job, it was letting go of her identity as a corporate executive. She had to evolve beyond her old self to create something new. Identity evolution begins with a deep understanding of your current self-narrative. Take out your journal and write down how you currently describe yourself. Pay attention to the language you use, the stories you tell, and the limitations you've accepted as truth. Mark was shocked to discover that 2 years after his business failed, he was still introducing himself as a failed entrepreneur. This language wasn't just describing his past, it was anchoring him to it. The next step is creating what I call your identity blueprint. This isn't about positive thinking, it's about intentionally designing who you need to become to achieve your comeback. Start with the phrase, "I am becoming," and complete it with specific attributes, behaviors, and beliefs. Alexandra, a former athlete recovering from a career-ending injury, wrote, "I am becoming someone who creates value through wisdom rather than physical performance. I am becoming a guide for others on their journey of transformation." Practice identity-based actions daily. These are small behaviors that align with your new identity, not your old one. When Michael was transitioning from bankruptcy to building his consulting business, he started dressing for client meetings every day, even when working from home. This wasn't about appearance, it was about embodying his new identity as a trusted advisor. Financial recovery requires more than just making money. It demands a complete reconstruction of your relationship with money. This goes beyond budgeting and saving. It's about creating a new financial architecture for your life. The first step is what I call financial truth-telling. Document every aspect of your current financial situation, including debts, assets, income streams, and spending patterns. Don't just list the numbers. Write down the emotions and beliefs attached to each. Create a financial freedom map. This isn't a traditional budget, it's a strategic plan for building multiple income streams. Start with what I call stability income, the money you need to cover basic expenses. Then develop what I call growth income, revenue streams that can expand over time. Finally, plan for legacy income, passive income sources that will sustain your long-term vision. Sarah, who lost everything in a divorce, started her financial reconstruction by creating 5 micro-income streams, each generating just $200 per month. These small streams gave her confidence and proof that she could create value in multiple ways. Within a year, she had scaled 2 of these streams into a full-time income. Remember, financial reconstruction isn't just about recovering what you lost, it's about building something more resilient than before. Physical optimization. Your body is the vehicle for your comeback, and like any vehicle, it needs proper maintenance and optimization. This isn't about getting six-pack abs, it's about creating the physical foundation for sustained success. Begin with what I call the energy audit. For 1 week, track your energy levels every hour. Notice when you're most alert, when you crash, and what activities drain or energize you. Create your peak performance protocol. This is a personalized system for maintaining optimal physical state. Robert, rebuilding his career after burnout, discovered that his decision-making suffered dramatically when he slept less than 7 hours. He built his entire comeback schedule around protecting his sleep, treating it as non-negotiable as client meetings. Develop what I call stress resilience practices. These are physical techniques you can use to maintain composure under pressure. Simple breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, and movement patterns that can be done anywhere. Jennifer, rebuilding her business after a partnership split, created a 2-minute movement routine she could do between challenging calls to reset her nervous system. Connection cultivation. Relationships are the currency of comebacks, but not all connections are created equal. You need to cultivate relationships with intention and strategy. Begin with what I call the relationship inventory. Map out your current network, but go deeper than just listing names. Analyze the quality of each relationship, the value exchange, and the growth potential. Implement the connection compound effect. This is a systematic approach to building meaningful relationships over time. Start with 1 genuine interaction per day. This isn't networking, it's about creating real value for others. When David was rebuilding his consulting practice, he spent 6 months focusing solely on helping others solve problems, without asking for anything in return. This generous expertise approach led to more referrals than any traditional networking ever had. Create what I call value vehicles, specific ways you can consistently add value to your network. This could be making introductions, sharing insights, or solving problems. Maria created a weekly email digest, sharing the most valuable lessons from her comeback journey. What started as a way to stay connected became a powerful platform for building her new business. Legacy focus. Your comeback isn't just about you, it's about the impact you'll leave on others. This final step is about transforming your personal setback into a platform for helping others. Start with what I call your legacy statement. This isn't about what you want to achieve, it's about who you want to impact and how you want to be remembered. Develop your impact architecture, the systematic way you'll help others through your experience. This includes documenting your journey, identifying teaching points, and creating frameworks others can follow. Thomas, who lost his first business, created a detailed guide about the warning signs he missed and the lessons he learned. This became the foundation for a mentoring program that has helped dozens of entrepreneurs avoid similar pitfalls. Create what I call wisdom assets, specific tools, techniques, or insights that can help others on their journey. These assets give your setback purpose and meaning beyond your personal story. They transform your comeback from a personal victory into a legacy that serves others. Taking action. Now comes the moment of truth. Your comeback won't happen by simply watching this video or taking notes. It requires immediate, decisive action. Right now, yes, right this moment, take out your phone or notebook and do these 3 things. First, write down your Day 1 declaration. This is a simple, powerful statement that marks the official beginning of your comeback. Make it personal, make it real, and make it count. Second, schedule your first comeback session for tomorrow morning. This is a 1-hour block where you'll begin implementing the first step we discussed. No excuses, no delays. Finally, make a public commitment. Share your intention to make a comeback with at least one person who will support you and hold you accountable. This could be in the comments below, with a friend, or with a mentor. Remember, the size of your comeback will be determined by 2 things: the depth of your conviction and the consistency of your actions. Your past doesn't define you, your decisions today do. The greatest comeback of your life isn't just possible, it's inevitable if you follow these steps with unwavering commitment. Before you go, drop a comment below sharing your Day 1 declaration. Let's build this comeback community together. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear this message today. Your comeback story starts now. Let's make it legendary. Remember, I'm here rooting for you every step of the way. See you in the next video, where we'll dive deeper into each of these steps. Until then, keep pushing forward. Your comeback is calling.